Hey, welcome back to another podcast that I have here. Thank you guys for joining in. This is your boy, the Solo Traveler ORD. Like, appreciate you guys for tuning in for another episode that I have going on. I'm actually here accompanied by a couple people from the panel to speak on this subject of a known expat actually passed away over the holiday weekend. And unfortunately, we've known this person that passed away. It's kind of hurts the fact that this has happened. We've seen several times. Well, there's been several cases of people passing away, such as RP to Charles Tyler and others that have passed away recently. And it kind of sucks to see this happening. But we wanted to bring out an PSA about health, about all of us that travel. We love to travel, but a lot of times we don't take care of our health. So we wanted to make sure we brought a panel together to go over ways to keep yourself healthy so that things like this doesn't happen while you're enjoying yourself away. But first off, what I want to do is I want to go over the report that was reported over our good friend that has passed away over the past week. I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to play a quick video. He was actually on the show at one point, roughly a couple months ago. Had a great time. It was we enjoyed it. It was me, him, Buckets was on there, and it was a great show. We had a great time, but fortunately, this incident has happened. I'm going to read the report of what was reported as far as the situation. So it says here, the homicide police investigates the death of American inside a rented penthouse in Ipanema. Basically, police from the Capitol Homicide Precinct opened an inquiry to investigate the death of American Simonson James, basically says 47, in Ipanema in Rio in the South Zone. The foreigner body was found by the sister of the owner of the covered of the Rua. Also, it says on the afternoon of the last Friday, the 31st, rented by him to spend the end of the year festivities. It says the autopsy report carried out by experts from the Legal Medical Institute, and which will clarify the cause of death, have not yet been completed. According to the incident record, military police officers from the 23rd BPM called by the apartment owner found the corpse on the bed, apparently without signs of violence or drug use. The victim rented the space on the 29th through an online platform, and since the beginning of the hosting, he did not report no valuables from the victim were taken. According to the person in charge of the lease, images from the property security cameras show that the American arrived at the scene around 22:30 on the 29th. And a doctor who was also called in believed that James may have suffered a heart attack. So I'm going to play this video from when we were when I actually had a video with him a couple months ago. Just a little snippet for you guys. Right now we got James in the building as well. We're actually at his spot. His spot is pretty dope. Definitely, I gotta thank him just for
this is what you guys need to inspire to be like. See that outside view, man? That's from his balcony. That's what we look like. I'm gonna head out there and show you this is real. This is not a backdrop. This is not a blue screen. This is not faking the funk. He actually just ran downstairs real quick, but he'll be back. But it is a nice view. I'm gonna post a video of a little drone footage that we did earlier today.
And of course, I gotta ask James because he's an expat living here. He's been here for how many years have you been living here?
I've lived here in Medellin for almost 4.5 years. Well, no, almost 4 years. In August of 2017, I moved here.
Nice. So you've seen everything you could think of so far.
Not necessarily everything, but I've been here enough to see what's around the corner a couple of times. And to Bacchus's point, once you learn the lay of the land of where you can find stuff and where you need to go for stuff, it's fairly straightforward. I mean, you guys have seen the city. I tell people that Medellin reminds me of Minneapolis, where everybody speaks Spanish. Because you got the mountains, the infrastructure straight, the streets are similar, in my opinion, but except for that everybody speaks Spanish, it really feels like Minneapolis.
Oh, nice. The Twin Cities, man.
Yep.
And before living here, you were saying that you actually lived in DR before.
I lived in Punta Cana for 3.5 years, and I actually left the U.S. in March 2014. So it's been an interesting 7 years outside of the U.S., watching what's going on in the U.S. and enjoying it from a distance, shall we say.
I bet. Every time I turn on the news, I'm like, what the hell's going on in here?
Exactly. And I'm like, what the hell's going on in here? And I don't have to live in it because I live here. It's been an interesting, almost exactly 4 years between the last presidential election and this one. So I got to watch that all from a distance.
Yeah, so that was the last time I actually saw him. Unfortunately, I know that other people, especially on the panel, me asked more people up here that dropped off. We have more people that actually jumped in, but unfortunately, this is, that was my tribute to him. So I'm gonna start off making the rounds across the board here with people that have known him or actually, met him and so forth. So I guess I'm gonna start to my right, which is Black Man Travels, which is he's actually here. So give us your take on I guess, knowing him and so forth.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, thank you everyone for inviting me on the show. I'm actually in DR. I found out about his death early this morning. Raphael, one of the vets in the travel game, reached out to me, and he wanted me to confirm his name. So, due to the fact that I know James since 2006, I used to host events in Chicago, and he used to always come and support my events, and that's how I got to know him. And I actually met James while in DR. I actually went to a bachelor party in Punta Cana, and he was living down there at the time. So hey, I told him, hey, you know what? We're throwing a party. Come join us. James, of course, came through with the camera, and we had a good time. And I also met James in Colombia. But James always been an amazing guy, great guy, always willing to give a helping hand as well as share his experiences. This guy has a wealth of tons of professional experiences within the IT project management side, but also travel experiences. Um, he was just a great person, man. And to find out that, I had to confirm that that was his name because we are tied into our professional LinkedIn profiles. It was hard. It was hard this morning, just to find out he passed on December 29th, and they did not find his body until 5 days later. So the more details coming out, the more shocking it is. I actually was able to get more information about on his last day, Raphael was with him, and he kind of gave me some signs that, James was not feeling well. He was walking slow, having a hard time breathing while he was talking. So there were some signs that I wish, James would have just gone to the hospital, but he decided to go back to the room. And of course, reading the newspaper article, you see that they have him on video where they see him stumbling, walking around before he actually went into his room. So it was a sad morning to find out about his death because I know James personally. Again, I met James back in 2006. He was attending my events, and he always supported love. Came out, and we always talked. Although we didn't talk a lot, but whenever we did talk, we did talk. So it was a great loss in the travel community. This is a guy that has tons of travel knowledge that he could share amongst the rookies and the newbies, and he made a lot of great friends.
Nice. Yeah, he definitely was a good person from what I met from him. Like, with me, that I met him. I talked here and there, and I never really had that opportunity to really meet him face to face, and it was a great experience doing that and doing the video with him. I'm gonna move it over to Daniel. It looks like he's next. If you want to add a little tribute or so before we move on.
Unfortunately, I never had an opportunity to meet the gentleman. I did see the video that you guys posted up. Seemed like a wonderful individual who had, was going to live his golden years the way I would bet the majority of us brothers on here would love to live, traveling from country to country, enjoying and seeing the world, and watching America from a distance. And I think someone else posted on another site that he died the way many of us would want to, living an adventure. And so I took my hat to the brother, young man. I mean, he was only in his 50s, so he should have had a good another 25, 30-year run. It's sad to see him go. I think it's a wake-up call to many of us brothers to really get our health checked. I know everyone's put on a few pounds with Corona, myself included, but we got to do better at taking care of ourselves because we work so hard our whole lives. And here we got a brother who's just starting to live retirement, and he checks out. And so sometimes you get little wake-up calls in life to get yourself right. And I think this should be an instrument to make sure that we take better care of ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. I do agree with that. I definitely do. I'm moving over to No Excuse Entertainment. If you want to add anything to this as well, and tribute yourself.
Oh, I don't really have much to add. I have seen the brother, in various groups, discussions. What I mean? He seemed like a good brother. I know a lot of brothers in Medellin that know him. So it's a sad situation. Um, some of the things that I just heard sounds very similar to the moments before the late great Charles Tyler passed. So I definitely see some parallels based on what I've heard so far.
Mhm. Yeah, and then as I look at that, it kind of, I think that once, if someone starts showing those signs, I think that we're going to have to start, talking to them, try to convince them to go to the hospital. I know a lot of times, we know that that person may say that they're okay, but a lot of times, they think that they could sleep it off. But, we've seen just how this happened. This is second, even a third time. I think someone else had the same situation, if I'm not mistaken. The same situation that happened. I'm gonna move it over to Buckets. I know that he knows him well as well, and say some words.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? I met James literally about a year ago on my first trip to Medellin. He came over to the house and hung out, introduced himself, etc. I met him through the group and through Ken, and he's a photographer like myself. So him and I was just talking shop, lenses and focal lengths and bodies and whatnot. And I met him at his old apartment before he had his new place where we shot at, and we've just been tight ever since, man. I do a shoot. I send him a couple of pictures, and he helps me out with that. Anything I needed to know about Medellin, he's like, no, don't go there today. Go this other place. And he was fluent bilingual, being out there for so long, and he was even learning Portuguese. His whole setup was that he was looking to either go to Panama or to go to Brazil. So on this trip, it was basically a scouting mission for him. He was planning on being there for about a month to really check it out and feel and see if he wants to be there or whatnot. And I just spoke to him on Friday. Friday evening was the last thing that I got from him, just him and I going back and forth like we normally do. So I find it very hard, to get this message this morning at work, and I've just been out of it ever since. But James was a good guy, man. I had nothing bad to say, except for you, and he taught me all this bad Spanish words. He wouldn't teach me none of the good ones, so I just learned how to curse. like, God damn it, boy. But I most definitely, he hung out with me. I hung out with him and his lady friend, and he hung out with my lady friend as well, and just getting it in. So this really opens the door to put it out there for even if you're traveling solo or you're traveling with some friends. It's really good to let people back home know where you at, what you're doing, what's going on. Emergency contact. I don't care if you got to have one of those silly bracelets on your arm for a name, a number, or something, or even knowing, letting the local embassy know what's going on. It depends how far you want to take it, but we all knew he was there. That's why I'm glad that he has this network of friends that was able to see this information. Because if he didn't know any of us, if he was just doing his own thing, who knows how long it would have been before, family got to know what's going on. I'll text somebody today. ORD, I'll text you on Wednesday. I won't hear from you till Monday. I know you're busy.
I know I'm bad with that, man. I'm sorry, man.
I see you posting. I'm like, all right, cool. He cool. I know he busy. But some of us, you don't text back. It's just you might start getting worried or something. So this is a nice segue to make sure the brothers know that you're traveling safe and letting people know what's going on and backing your stuff up.
Yeah, I just want to chime in what Bach just mentioned in regards to having a point of contact. Guys, it is essential that you let everyone know where you at, where you staying, where you going. I don't care if it's your mom, your sisters, your brothers, your friends, or even these Facebook groups. Let everyone know what you're doing because again, any situation were to happen, we could at least try to help you out from wherever we are. Just today, the fact that Raphael was able to reach out for me, and Raphael's in Brazil, he reached out to me while I'm in DR to confirm this person was James, and I had to actually go into my LinkedIn profile to verify him. So, guys, having a point of contact is essential, as well as having travel insurance. I can't say this enough, guys. I understand, you see the $27 fee or whatever fee that you see. It's less than $50 for you to cover yourself in case anything were to happen. And having the point of contact, letting the groups, just letting these Facebook groups where you are, where you're staying is good to know just in case anything were to happen, we could follow up on you and make sure that everything is okay.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I wanted to jump into. I've actually shared a link with everyone here. I'm probably going to pin it for a quick moment. There is I actually put up a link of all emergency contact numbers per country. So, if you guys do run into any issues or run into a bind, use this link here. Use that, get all the numbers, investigate before you go out there to whatever country you're going to so that you at least have this in your phone so you'll know it, because not every country uses 911 as their emergency number. So, it's best to know what's going on, best to know to keep yourself in order, as well as just, the embassy number as well. So, I wanted to start off with, the planning regimen before traveling, what most of us may do to try to keep ourselves, in a good situation, keep our body in shape, health wise, healthy, and so that we're ready for the travels and so forth. So I'm not sure who wants to start first.
I can start first. I'm
Okay.
actually here in DR. Well, right now I'll be the first to admit I've been eating like crap and drinking wine as my morning breakfast. So, I'm not the best person to use as an example, but typically, Bacchus know how I get down for my travels. I do a complete cleanse. I work out 7 days a week. I try to, focus more on cardio, circuit training, and I always go see the doctor, man. I see the doctor at least 3 times a year just to make sure, everything's working accordingly. Um, just be mindful, guys. It's just like, at our age, I'm 40, I'm 43 going on 44. I take my health more seriously now more than ever before. And I try to be mindful as far as what I'm eating. You know, am I being active during, throughout the week? Am I getting all the right nutrients in my body? Because again, we're just at that age now where we could pick up any type of illness or viruses, especially now with the COVID and other viruses out there. We need to be more proactive. So with traveling, what I normally do is I try to, I do intermittent fasting where I fast for 16 hours a day and I eat the remaining 8 hours. And I try to do that 2 months prior before my trip. And I just try to eat super clean because I know that during vacation, I tend to eat bad. So you best believe when I get back home, guys, I have a 7-day cleanse waiting for me. Eating all this Dominican fried food is not good for you in the long run, man.
It's true. You see, one thing I'm going to say is that, which I know a lot of brothers don't want to hear this or whatever, but having a main girl in some of these countries actually helps you out because she'll cook you the right meals to keep you healthy. Like for me, I got my wife here, and she cooks for me 3 times a day and keeps me in a good shape, as far as eating wise, that is. So, and she's forcing me to eat the right food. So she wants me to stay alive for a while. So that's something I will add, but I'm gonna move on to Daniel. If you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, I also try to work out as well. Trying to do as I get older, take the ego out of lifting the weights and start to do more cardio now. Um, I don't no longer need to be the dude with the diesel arms and chest. You hear more what's that cereals, snap, pop, and crunch when I'm on the weight bench now. And so I was like, wait a minute, why am I trying to lift like I'm gonna be playing in the NFL? Take the ego out, start doing more cardio, actually get out and run outside a little bit, get your wind up. And I try to eat right as well now. I think one of the things you guys mentioned before, which kind of struck home, was making sure you let people know where you are. I am more of a lone wolf when I travel. I don't necessarily like traveling with groups of guys. It's just too much of a headache, and you're dealing with that many different personalities. Plus, there's always a surprise in the group. You might know someone for 10 years in a business setting, and you get out in another country and you see a whole nother side of them, and now you got to babysit. So I usually lone wolf it. But by doing that, I go to certain areas where if something were to happen to me, they wouldn't know I was the gringo from New York. They wouldn't have no idea how to contact my family. Sometimes I don't have ID, or I might just carry my driver's license or something. And I thought about that last year because I've been going to Brazil since '97, so I'm pretty decent with the language. Obviously, I have the melanin to hang out in certain areas where most people would be uncomfortable. But I started thinking, what if I died in one of these favela parties or something? How would my family know? So I've started to reach out to my brother or let my boys know wherever I am. Hey, I'm going out to this spot. I'm going to be out here for a couple of days. I'll be back at that time. Just letting people know where you're going to be is essential. So that go ahead. I didn't hear you.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm gonna say I agree with that. That is definitely one of the most important factors, is letting people know what's really going on. And I'm not gonna lie, I've actually done that as well. Not tell people. There's times when people found out that I was actually in DR, the other people, but but nonetheless, I got to do better with that. I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but go ahead.
No. I again, and so letting people know, and then also taking care of yourself. I meant to say earlier, within the last 5 years, I know 7 brothers that passed away on different trips from either heart attacks or, no, excuse me, not 7. Out of 7 guys, 4 guys I know passed away from heart attacks, and 3 of them had strokes. And we got to be really careful. And this might be a little, not to be offensive. I don't mean, I don't want this to come across as just as a warning. I would hate to see this happen. Be careful of those PED pills that some guys are popping when you go to another country. I know it's real tempting because you don't need a doctor's prescription in certain countries. You could just walk into a pharmacy and give me that and give me these. If you're not doing them at home, and you arrive on your vacation and you're like, hey, I want to run like Usain Bolt on this trip. It's just full speed ahead, and you're taking them like M&Ms. Those are deadly, man. You could definitely have a heart attack or a stroke if you're not careful what you're doing and you don't have a consult with a doctor first. You're just popping one in the morning and another in the afternoon, another one at nighttime. It's very deadly not to do that. To do that, and you should be very careful about taking medication. And of course, also you're trusting that the medication that you're purchasing in some of these pharmacies are actually what they're giving you. It's not FDA like United States where you can trust this pharmacy. You really don't know what's in that bottle or the doses that you're getting. So you have to be really careful with that. I know there's a number of brothers that were taking pills like that, and they think it contributed to either their deaths or strokes while vacation.
Yeah, that's a good tip right there. I know a lot of brothers were talking about that, taking different supplements, pills, and everything for for enjoyment reasons. And I wouldn't do that if I'm not doing it here. If it's nothing natural, I wouldn't do it. That's just me for my health.
Mhm.
You know, so I'm gonna toss it over to No Excuse to see if you have anything you want to add to that as far as what was spoken. Right now, you're on mute if you're talking. There you go.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, it was yeah, it's just so many things, man. We could say like somebody just touched on, man. Like I know so many brothers that died this year, past years, due to some type of stroke or heart attack. And I know a lot of people, but since I've been traveling, I've seen more death related to, you know what I mean, the travel community than people in my own circle. And I would say almost 99% of the people I know that died were overweight, um, over a certain age, and it has been in the countries that we love. Whether it's DR, Brazil, haven't really seen issue, people passed in Colombia, but DR and Brazil I've seen a lot, and we have to pay attention to these patterns. Um, I have people that's overweight, that say that they're going to start doing this and doing that, but sometimes you don't have that time to wait. It happens. I know somebody, they had a stroke. They recovered, and they was on this, diet and exercise routine. They kind of fell off a little bit. And then a few months later, like they actually died. So it was like, what I mean, like God kind of gave them another chance. And sometimes you got to make drastic measures. I think, the overweight does catch up with a lot of brothers. Um, some things that I mentioned in a different group today is some things that causes heart attack or cardiac arrest. Um, it starts with high blood pressure. High blood pressure leads to heart attack, and a lot of things that causes high blood pressure is too much exposure to sunlight can like actually damage your muscle tissue, and your muscles contain creatine, and too much creatine in your bloodstream clogs your kidneys, um, causes high blood pressure, and that can lead to stroke or heart attack. Um, also things like what you eat. When you get older, heavy meats like beef and pork are harder to digest, and you put more work on your body digesting those foods. So, those added pressure and stress to your body as well. Um, and then some people mention the use of things like Viagra um, can also accelerate heart rate as well. So I think I think we just have to be more educated, especially as Black men traveling, and and guys that's kind of stubborn, stuck in their ways, dealing with a weight issue. You know, if if you comfortable with where you are, you do want to help your loved ones out by having insurance. If something was to happen to you, make that process easier. And like you guys said, let people know where you are. Because even if you may not care as much as about your health, other people, care just as much about you. So um, that's all I have to say at the moment.
Yeah, and that is true. And that's like for me, my situation. I have a lot of people that are depending on me. So I know I gotta keep myself in order. And one thing that we actually talked about over the phone was about creating that will. You and I, and that's one thing that brothers are gonna have to do. And same thing, earlier today, Buckets has he sent out a link about certain things that you could do to like if something would have happened to you, so they could give people access to your social media accounts and other things like have a password, Excel documents and things like that. But I'm not going to speak too much on it. I know Buckets, he's actually next to speak about that whole situation. So yeah, go ahead. You have the mic. Give us a little bit of information about what you want to share.
Because those young ladies out there make you feel like you're 20. You might not actually be 20. And to the young men that are 20, that doesn't mean it can't happen. You're taking is safe, just, in moderation. You're out there to have fun, and you want to be able to come back and have more fun again. But just for some things that people might want to look into, I know I'm most definitely am going to be looking to a lot more. It's some things like so whatever the case may be.
Shoot, look like we lost him. Hold on, he just came back.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I got this Cricket Wireless. My bad. So yeah,
Well, yeah, since he
password is one of them. Some place you guys might want to. Facebook. There's a legacy program on Facebook that allows you to leave if you have no activity for a while. That one of your best friends might have access to your Facebook and whatnot. Will be able to handle that and take care of it. There's also a setup if you have a Gmail, a Google account. It lets you set it up for inactivities for like 3, 6, 12 months. For somebody to be able to handle that for you.
Hey, Bacchus, your audio is kind of off.
Yeah, I could touch a little bit on what he was saying. He was referencing about preparing yourself after preparing yourself digital life for if you died or so. And there's a link. I'm actually going to share it here because he actually shared it with us behind the scenes. In referencing to some of what he was explaining was about his Gmail and Facebook and giving people access to those accounts. Unfortunately, I can't let my wife have access to that, but I'll have my best friends or someone like that access because there's too much.
Right.
But
select somebody in the group.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I'm doing actually.
Find out.
I'm sorry, Bacchus. Go ahead.
No.
All right, guys. Well, actually, I spoke to Raphael. I'm not sure if some of you guys know Raphael. He's like one of the travel vets and in the travel community, and we talk about actually putting together a list of all the hospitals of all the major countries that Black men travel to. So if you're in Dominican Republic, like Santo Domingo, Sosúa, Santiago, Puerto Plata, I'm actually going to put together a list of all the main hospitals. So in case if anything were to happen to you, you could go to this list and know exactly which hospital to go to, depending where you are and what city in that country. I think it's important that a lot of guys just don't know, and they travel based on ignorance. So they feel like, you know what, if something's bothering you physically, don't take that chance and go back to your room. Go to the hospital, man. Trust me, the medical bill is not going to be as expensive as the medical bill you have in the States. And don't take that chance. Take yourself to the hospital, get yourself checked, but also too, before you take your trip, go see your doctor. Just do a quick checkup. Just do a quick checkup. Make sure everything okay. Make sure all your vitals are good. Make sure everything is operating accordingly, and then travel. I like to do that sometimes, especially if I'm gone for a long period of times. But just make sure you go see the doctors. I understand a lot of Black men got this thing with the doctor situation due to some of the past experiences. But guys, we need to go see the doctor, especially at our age. We can't take any chances. If you're diabetic, you have high blood pressure, you have any other pre-existing illnesses, make sure you go see your doctor before you take that trip. Because what I'm hearing now also is that a lot of Black men are getting blood clots on long flights. So if you're taking flights to Thailand, Brazil, there's a good possibility if you're diabetic, you could experience a blood clot. And it's just like you don't want to take that chance. So just make sure you go see the doctor before you take that 10-day trip or that 1 month trip. And so, in case you have all your prescribed medicines with you while you're traveling.
Yeah, that's very vital. And one thing that Supreme Lifestyles, he actually stated, I was talking to him in another group earlier today was, as it says here, RD in the house, SL in the building, he says, rest in peace to James, make sure y'all get y'all blood work done every 3 to 6 months. And I think that that's something very imperative to do as well, get your blood work in because, it'll let them know if they see something wrong, if there is something wrong with you, they'll be able to catch that. So that's something that, especially if you're under 40, you should do that. I think he was saying that under 40, you should do that at least twice a year or maybe 3 times. If you're over 40, at least what, 3 times a year, something like 3 or 4 times a year. And I'm sure that with us, we all have good medical at this point. We're traveling, we're doing our thing. So we should be able to have good medical to do what we got to do. The biggest thing to come down to making time. We got to make sure we put that time in. I know that we're putting in time to leave the country, but we got to put in time also for our health. Which is very important. And that's actually great. What you were saying with Raphael, that you guys are creating that list in reference to all the hospitals and some of the hotspots that we like to go to, which I think that's actually dope. Are you guys going to release that to all the groups through?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
most definitely.
I'm going to reach out to all the groups. I don't, this is not about ego. This is about lives, saving lives. So I'm gonna reach out to all the admins and all these groups. If they want to post it in their group, great. If not, that's on them. But I know I did my job in making sure that you guys are squared away, knowing that which hospital to go to in every country that Black men travel to, and all the major cities.
Yeah, which is very imperative. So I'm gonna pass it over to No Excuse if he has want to add anything more to this conversation that we're on.
Um, I just want to say, I think that a lot of brothers, especially with maybe compromising health, should be looking to settle down, have a woman. All the men I knew that died on their vacation or abroad, they was by themselves. You know, um, and brothers just think about that. Do you want to die alone? Like you said earlier, if you're with your significant other, whether it's on a vacation or y'all living together, she's gonna be more proactive if she sees something that's wrong, you know, and be able to communicate and things like that. Like I got a homeboy, that's real overweight. He just got married. Um and sometimes I worry about him. I'm afraid to get that message saying, something happened. And then also too, like if you got a lock on your phone, like he got a lock on his cell phone, like she ain't gonna know who to contact. She ain't gonna be able to get in his phone. you know.
Like me.
So
That's why you need two
what I mean,
phones.
that's something to think. That's something to think about too. you know.
Hey, man, I got to be secure, man. You know what I mean? I got too much dirt in my phone, but not go. I'm sorry.
Hey,
But
hey, you know what? Hey,
Bring you back to life just to kill you.
my girl today, she was cooking dinner, and she called me Gordo. I was offended. I was like, Gordo. I was like, I had to look at myself and like, you know what? I can't wait to get back home. Well, it's on and popping when I get back home, man.
That's got to be Just right there. What up, Just? That's you. No excuse in the building.
yeah, yes sir, yes sir. What up, bro?
What's going on, man? G Tag in the building. Supreme Lifestyle. Shout outs to Ord, man. ORD.
Yeah, thanks for joining in. Thanks for joining in. You know what? I'm gonna let you jump into the conversation. After you're done, I'm gonna jump up back to Daniel. Then I'm gonna finish off with Buckley before we move on to the next topic of the conversation. But yeah, let us know what you got on the subject and so forth.
Oh yeah, man. Now I'm just tuning in, making sure that I was seen, and I see you brought me in. So yeah, rest in peace to brother James. We was talking about it all day. That it's important to get your blood work done. To check on your organs and how your organs are functioning in your body. And the blood work should be done if you're under 40. It's got to be done at least twice a year, every 6 months. And if you're over 40, it should be done quarterly every 3 months.
Good information, vital information. Like I was saying, definitely we need that because, like you were saying, that they could find anything, any issues, and this is good so that, you'll know if you could take that long flight to Thailand or these other places and so forth, because, you don't want to be getting off the plane and passing out and dying and so forth. That's the last thing you want to do.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And if there are any underlying issues, the doctor's going to prescribe you that medication that you may need to take before you even board or when you land or when you wake up. Because, when we on vacation, we going to drink, we going to celebrate, we going to party and all that. But, you have to have those meds in you. Like, if you got diabetes, you don't want to wake up and just go start partying without taking your insulin or monitoring your levels. So, the same thing with the heart when it comes to blood pressure, because alcohol is one of the biggest things that can boost that blood pressure up. So if you do got high blood pressure, which can lead to a heart attack and stroke, then you definitely need to be taking those prescribed pills that the doctor gave you prior to you landing and prior to you waking up and beginning your activities for that day.
Yep, and I also will add on, at least with that blood work, to let you know that get yourself in order. Start eating right, start working out. Get that cardio, like Daniel was saying. Start getting that cardio in. Do something with your health. Make sure that you can stay a lot longer than just the moment of time that you're enjoying your time. Because we all want to have more trips. We all want to have more time enjoying ourselves, moving to different countries, exploring and having a party, having a good time. So we gotta do better, and that's my thing, So I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't know if you had anything else before I move up to Daniel.
Yeah, well, as far as like maintaining those levels, those health levels, there's also contributing factors such as health, such as hereditary, like your family, your age, your own particular schedule, as far as like works. Like some guys might not be able to make the gym all the time for that cardio, so you got to practice like alternative methods such as meditation and maybe a little exercise while you in or at work. And sex is also a great exercise for cardio.
You ain't lying.
Facts, no fancy.
That's well, man. That's the best one right there.
Yeah. Like, because you got to understand, like, I don't know how old the brother James was, but he might have been like 47 or maybe more. But when you start getting over 40 and your body just is not going to be able to, be at optimum peak and maximum level. So, but there's still other alternatives that you can do, like you said, the diet being one of the most important. My mom's, she just turned 80 years old, you know what I'm saying? And she don't even work out. Her thing was always diet, and that was a big thing in the West Indian community, making sure that you had the proper nutrients in food and everything was cooked and not too much like MSG and oil-based products and all that frying stuff. So, it's a lot of different things that you gotta do to get that engine running. Engine needs everything to run. It needs the head gasket. It needs the oil. Clearly some gas. It's just not one thing that's just going to sit. Like cardio could be like an accelerator, but you still need all the other parts in order for the car to function at optimum capabilities.
Yeah, I agree. That's facts. That's facts. Daniel, you want to add anything else before? Like I said, I'm gonna go to Daniel. Then I'm gonna go to finish off with buckets, and then we're gonna switch over gears. If you guys want to have another discussion on something else that you guys want to bring to the table regarding health or traveling and so forth.
No, I think everyone really touched on all the major points, which was doctor visits, getting your medication, eating right, things we've been hearing since we were kids. Eat your vegetables, work out, stay in shape, drink your water. We all know what we're supposed to do. It's not rocket science, but it's easy to get distracted. When I rarely drink here in the United States, rarely. But when I get off the plane, I'm going right to duty free, and I'm grabbing a the bottle of white Hennessy, and I'm getting the double
Get
black
it.
Johnny Walker and the Red Bull, and it's
Don't forget the Club Colombias and Presidentes in DR,
yeah,
the Brahmas in Brazil.
yeah. Like I might have maybe maximum 5 drinks a year when I'm in the States. But when I get off that plane, it's time to put in that work. And, that affects your system. You're going in there, you're leaving, like I'm in New York, you leave New York, it's, 20 degrees. You arrive in another country and it's 98 degrees when you step off. You're not drinking the water. You're not drinking your coconut water when you get there to hydrate your system. It's all to just realizing you're about to really tax your body for the next 3 to 4 days till it can acclimate to the weather, the humidity, the sun, whatever. And you have to prepare for that, things you have to take into consideration. The other thing, I know you said you were putting that list together for the hospital. Can't wait to see that. I recommend in Rio, Copa d'Or. A number of years ago, I had an incident where I contracted this thing called shock thermical. I don't know what it's called in English, but my face was paralyzed for about 6 weeks. It was almost like I thought I had a stroke or a heat stroke, but it's actually when you go from extreme cold to extreme heat without letting your body change in the temperature. And half of my face was paralyzed for 6 weeks. I couldn't close my eyes. I had to put special drops in and put a bandage over it. I had to go to physical therapy for a facial physical therapy. But I went to Copa d'Or, and from the moment I walked in an emergency, they took me to a room. I met 3 doctors, one that did his residency in New York, so he spoke perfect English. And I had the x-ray where they shoot the ink or the dye or whatever into your blood and put you in that, and was downstairs and paid my bill in like an hour and 10 minutes. So that's an excellent hospital right there in Copacabana that I would definitely recommend if you have insurance of going to.
Nice. And also, you know what? I want to touch on about insurances. But I'm gonna pass it over to Buckets if you have anything you want to add before I start talking about insurance. Different type of insurances that you guys didn't know.
I want to say that when I was in the Philippines, I actually went to the hospital and just had it's called an executive checkup where they did everything: blood pressure, blood tests, stool, urine, x-rays, sonogram, like the whole I have never been poked, prodded, and so much. And didn't ask for any insurance. I paid all cash, and I think everything came up to about $400 or $500 US. So that was something that was on my list to do. You're going over there, you're going to sightsee, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. A chest X-ray stateside with insurance is probably going to be $2,000 after the fact. So get it all done. If you're in one of these places where you can get all these things done, and they all had it, I think it took like 2 days to get it all done, and they all had it back to me on day 3. Doctor just looked at it, told me what was wrong, do this, do that, etc. And of course, having your lady friend that is a local, that is fluent in that language, could just do all that for you. Talk to the doctors, talk to everybody, and that's all my girl did. She was pointing, go sit over there, go stand over there, go do this. So you're going over to these countries, and where your money is long. Go ahead and work that, because that Blue Cross Blue Shield or Cobra you got here stateside, it's all right, but I think I paid my copay just to get some full expensive stuff taken care of. So that's another look that you guys can look into while going over there, and also doing your stuff here. I had a colonic a few years ago, and the first thing homeboy said was like, "Yo, lay off the wings and fries." And I was like, "Yeah," because we go places. We might not understand the menu, we'll be able to read it, but they know we coming, so they have wings and fries. Anywhere you go, you getting wings and fries, easy, or tenders and fries, super easy. That's not helping any of us, but you have to have that mindset, and you have to use that. And just like Black Man Travel says, Ken said, doing the things before you get there. Don't wait till you get there to do it. Having a regimen. Start off slow. It doesn't have to be going hard all day, every day, but start off slow. Add more salads to your diet, more fruits, more vegetables. Walk a little bit more. hit the gym. I got a gym at my job. I'm about to start using it because it's pointless that I walk past it every day to go to Chick-fil-A, but I'm going to just stop off in there instead. But yeah, insurance, letting people know where you're at, even having a will, secondary phone, or some things that people know to be able to contact the right people to get things taken care of. James was a great dude, and I know we had a lot more experiences and time to hang together. And I'm sad I'm not going to be able to have that, but most definitely shout out to his family. Thanks for lending him to us for a little bit. We greatly do appreciate it. And what's happened is not going to go. We are not going to learn from this. Everybody's going to learn from this. We're going to have that list together shortly. We're going to start putting together other ideas of health tips and whatnot. And I believe even Black Man Travels is working on a list of gyms. I know they're all over Rio. There's a gym on every corner. But list of gyms you can go to, which is also a great place to meet locals. You go to the gym, meet some of them hotties in there. Come on now. You don't got to swipe right for everything. Just stop swiping. I'm just saying. I want to see stories of y'all talking about some baddies y'all met at the gym because you were trying to run and keep up with her and you couldn't, and she had to give you mouth to mouth. You know, I'm just
It'll be a great story right there, man.
Real quick, you mentioned something. I don't know if anyone has a list of information or if someone's a subject matter expert. Is there any particular insurance that you guys purchase for international travel? Any particular agency or company you use?
Well, it varies, to be honest.
Okay.
I personally, for me, I use Blue Cross.
Okay.
I mean, the lowest rate is $20. You know, the lowest package up to like $100. But there's a variety of different plans you could get out there. But normally, if you could get a plan that covers up to $500,000, you're good.
Okay.
I mean, most of our trips we don't go longer than 7 days. I mean, unless you're going to Thailand or anywhere further. But most of the travel insurance have all the basic plans. You're okay with the basic plan. Me personally, because I have young kids, I get the max. So I try to get the max in case anything happened. Also, I get the death insurance. So if anything were to happen to me, my body would be shipped back to the States.
So I just dropped a link of basically the top 5 best international travel insurance. I was just about to talk about that. So Jay Clyde, he just dropped the name Geo Blue.
Geo Blue.
Yep. So he uses Geo Blue. He was telling me about how the insurance is pretty good, and that's the same one that you use, Black Man Travel, a Geo Blue.
Yeah. That's the one I use.
Yep. So, and that's a part of that list. I just dropped a list. I just pinned it so you guys could take a look at that list of travel insurance, international travel insurance, so you guys can see what is out there. And I'm not gonna lie, I've actually evaded paying for health insurance, and that's something that I know I gotta start doing. And I'm getting up there in age, and I'm only about 38 now, so I need to start taking that seriously. As far as purchasing health insurance while I'm on the road and so forth. It's bad enough I pay a lot for my health insurance on a regular daily basis on my check, but I need to take it serious as far as doing it, internationally as well. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that open. If anyone else want to add in, I guess I could jump to No Excuse because Daniel spoke about it. Black Man Travels, jump to No Excuse, and I jump to G. Then we'll go finish off with Buckets about insurance. If you have anything you want to add regarding insurance.
I'll just co-sign, man. I've used Seven Corners. I had to get it when I was trying to renew my visa. So yeah, Seven Corners is the cheapest that I've seen as far as international, and a lot of people use it. So that's what I recommend.
Well, Seven Quarters, can you purchase that separate, or can you purchase that with your ticket when you purchase your ticket, airline flights? Is that one of those services that is being offered?
Usually I don't see that. That's something you could purchase outside of buying your ticket.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Hey, Solo. Actually, you know what? I normally buy my insurance plan outside of my ticket. I never buy with the ticket. So If I purchase a flight to Colombia or Brazil, I just take care of that flight. Then I go onto another search engine and buy my insurance plan.
All right, cool.
I
Yeah, for
do
those
want
of you
to
that
real quick. I do want to kind of talk about the stigma of buying insurance because I know if I feel like this sometime, I know other people do. You a lot of times I kind of wonder if my insurance gonna be honored if something happened to me. You know, like we know we good in the U.S., but like, do we? You know what I mean? Like I haven't. You know what I mean? It'd be good to hear from people that say, you know what, I had to use my insurance. Um, it
I could
worked.
actually, no excuse. I could actually answer your question. Normally, the way it works, you'll pay out of pocket. However, you'll be reimbursed.
Right.
So if anything would happen, you basically expense it. Keep all the receipts, keep all the documents. So when you get back to the States or whatever, you could actually, submit it in, claim it, and you get reimbursed. Same for if a death happened, same thing. You could get reimbursed. The person that you put as your legal guardian or your beneficiary. They can actually follow up on your claim.
But what if you don't have the money to pay? Because some countries won't let you leave if you got a bill. You know what I mean? They'll try to hold your passport.
Well, I mean, you hope that you have money in your pocket or your credit card you can use. But most cases, because they want to get paid instantly, and they're not going to wait for insurance claim to go through the process.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
be aware.
definitely touching base on what he said. The thing I got Aetna back in the States, and Aetna will cover you for anything. What it is like the brother was saying, you may have to pay out of pocket, but at the end of the day, there is no medical facility in the world that's going to deny you emergency care. They're not going to let you die. So, if it's something that they got to bill your insurance company, you have your insurance card on you. So it's not like you scamming them. They know who Aetna is. They know all these places because they all got a www dot at the bottom of your card.
Mhm.
So they know to bill you if it's a situation that they require money. It might be a copay that you need to really start looking at all the documentation that these health companies provide us that a lot of brothers don't even take the time to even look at the disclaimers and all of those terms and policies
Yeah.
of if you was to get sick overseas, but guess what? You still the same person with that social security number and most importantly that group number on your identification for them the overseas place to bill Aetna or Aetna reimburse you.
yeah, that's some good information, and that's the one of the
Yeah, because
biggest
that's
things.
that's your social security number. Like it's you. It's you. It's not like it's your brother. It's you and whoever's on your members. If your daughter, like I got my kids, I got both of my daughters on my medical insurance. Best believe if they go on vacation, say to Aruba, and they get sick, like Aetna's gonna have my back because I'm just gonna call customer service and get in touch with the right people when it pertains to that particular situation of care that might not be in the network, but it's still within my plan.
Yeah.
Good, nice.
I must say, I never had to use insurance overseas. Thank God, everything's worked out okay for now. But one thing I did always know: sometimes you don't know what's really going on in the country, and you really want to know where the nearest U.S. embassy is, what's their number,
Right.
where to go.
Right. And if you sick overseas, you want to get on the next flight anyway. Like you got to book out and just make it through that flight to get wherever, wherever Miami, land in Miami, New York, wherever you need to go, you need to get back home.
Yeah. So that's something. And they used to had an app. I think it was the embassy app where it used to have to register yourself. So if shit had hit the fan anywhere, they know where you are to send for you if anything happens. Never had it gone that way, but as we're seeing with a lot of how the world is moving right now and shaking and things are up and down, especially in a lot of these countries, you might want to just keep yourself on point, but just always have a backup, an emergency credit card with a couple G's limit just in case. That's just for in case of medical. That's not for turning up and whatnot. So
Right.
gotta be a
And
little bit smarter with it.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm just gonna say one last thing on the medical insurance. Y'all, everybody know Barbershop World. Zoe, he was telling me about Charles Schwab is one of the best companies to get travel insurance too.
You didn't know that. I have Charles
Charles
Schwab, but I didn't know
Schwab.
nothing about that.
Reach out to Barber because I spoke to him about that when I was in Brazil, and he was telling me Charles Schwab is one of the people that he uses for travel insurance.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start talking, looking into them and see what's up because I have a bank account with them and everything. I'm gonna acknowledge this here from Big Boss Real Talk. Thanks so much for the $10 donation. Appreciate it. So shouts out to the Solo Traveler ORD in the panel in the chat.
Big
Thanks, man.
Boss, what up,
Appreciate
baby?
Yeah, man. I gotta jump on his show real soon, man. Things are starting to free up for me, so we're gonna talk. We've been talking, offline. So I'll let you know what's up real soon.
Oaktown, Oakland.
Yeah, don't forget y'all can make these wheels too, like legal Zoom wheels or whatever. Just something quick and simple that's totally legit. So you don't even have to write it down on a legal pad. You could just use legal Zoom to do something like that. So ORD, don't forget to leave me that M6. All right, just letting you know. I can't keep turning.
I'll put that in the wheel for you, man.
I appreciate it. That's all I want is the M6, man. And don't forget the battery.
And the second M50, the M50 Mark 1 right there for you.
Thank you very much. It will come into very good use as my tricking cam. So good.
And also, just so you guys know, I've actually pinned a link to all the U.S. embassies across the world. So if you guys want to take a look at that, it's pinned at the top. Check that out as well. So I've shared a couple of links with you guys from, top 5 travel insurance companies, the embassy numbers, emergency contact numbers you guys can use while you guys are traveling. So, throughout the stream, I've been dropping a lot of stuff for you guys to use so that, hey, just be careful, use all this information for your gain so that, you can continue living life and enjoying life while we travel.
And you got to remember, or that even if we do got to pay out of pocket, I mean, U.S. currency is pretty good overseas. So, what might be
facts, no offense.
Yeah.
Who that talking? Who that?
No, that little sound effect right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but like you paying double. Our money is like double in most of these places. So even if you might need a procedure, I mean, say you got to pay like 1,000, you only gonna pay 500 there, or if you got to pay 100, you only gonna pay 50 there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the facts right there. I like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around one more time. If you guys have any last words, you guys want to add to the subject. I'm gonna start with Daniel since he's actually on the right of me. So and then we're gonna go around. Black Man Travels, then No Excuse. You leave the G, then finish off with Buckets.
No, I think we covered everything. I appreciate all the information provided. I took and copied it and made them into a list to save and to use on my next trip. Rest in peace to the brother. I wish we didn't have to have this meeting for this reason, but we did. So we owe him a special debt of gratitude as a wake-up call to get ourselves right. And maybe, who knows, maybe this thing will protect at least one guy on his next trip. So it wasn't in vain that we got together. And 2022, I wish you all nothing but happiness, success, travel, and let's live life and do your best to extend that life, But thank you guys. It's wonderful being on here and listening to all these black men doing the thing. You know what I mean?
No problem, man. Thanks for coming in. I definitely appreciate you, adding some content to the conversation, man. Hey, don't ever forget. Hey, whenever I have these live streams, man, you can come on up anytime. Join in. No problem.
All right.
All right, Black Man Travels. Oh no. Well, you're actually mute right now, so if you're still there.
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. It was a great pleasure being part of this panel discussion. Of course, I do always talk about health as well in the groups. And I always encourage brothers to put their health first, either be mental health, physical health, or spiritual health. Just put yourself first. And it's unfortunate that, a great guy such as James had to pass away. Um, let's not, let's take better care of ourselves, even to a friend. If you see a friend that's kind of slipping off, have that talk with them, and like, let them know like you do care about their health. And I think sometimes we get caught up, with the ladies and the drinking, the partying overseas, that we forget to take it easy. The whole part of a trip, a vacation, is for us to unwind and de-stress, not get additional more stress because you're trying to turn up 24 hours a day. So, guys, let's live it up. As Daniel said, on his closing statement, let's live it up. Let's have some great times, great experiences, but also let's teach each other. Let's check each other too. I always check on Bacchus. I always reach out to No Excuse. Just do a check in. Like, you doing good? Life is good. All right, cool. Have a great day. We don't need to talk for like hours. A simple check in is good enough. And let your family know where you're at, man. I think sometimes a simple text could go a long way. A simple email, a simple Facebook status could go a long way, guys. We're not invisible. I've accepted my mortality, and every trip, I kid you not, my main concern is getting back home because I got 2 kids to worry about. So,
Facts.
it's
Facts.
great
No
that
picture.
it's great that I'm having a great time, but I know that my home is back in the States, and I need to make sure that I get home safely. And I want every black man who's traveling to get back home safe.
That's
Yeah,
real,
that's
God.
facts. That's
That's
facts,
real.
man. And that's one thing, man. I gotta say, man. I'm sorry for you guys. Everybody that reached out to me, and it takes me forever to get back to y'all. Sorry about it, man. Especially Buck, because I know you said something about that. Sorry, man. I'm guilty of that stuff, man. But I try my hardest. I'll be trying. But I'm gonna switch it over to No Excuse.
Yeah, I just want to y'all touched on pretty much everything, man. I just want to acknowledge, man, some of the fallen brothers that we know that passed in Brazil. I'd be wanting to keep a list of people, man, just so we know they ain't been forgotten, man. R.I.P. James, R.I.P. Yusuf that died this past 2021. Mark Lyles, he died some years ago in Brazil.
Yeah.
Charles Tyler as well. I don't know if there's others that I'm missing, man, but I know those brothers that was in Brazil gave a lot of info, and they're not forgotten. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I gotta drop a bomb for them for all of them.
Yeah.
Their
Definitely.
names,
Definitely. Yusef Watif, R.I.P. R.I.P. Elijah, R.I.P. James, R.I.P. What's the other brother? Kwame Asante. You know what I mean? Those were some good OG brothers and elders. You know what I'm saying? Kwame Asante was a brother who was real big on health in the groups as he entered his latter years. So, he was a big inspiration for a lot of guys who was involved in health and exercise and workout. So, the only thing I got to say is that brothers got to start posting their workout routines, diet lifestyles, and different alternatives to a healthy travel lifestyle, not only in the States but also overseas. You understand? So put those workout videos up, no homo. If you got a training regiment that has gotten you results, and or other brothers that is fit and in shape, encourage those brothers to post it up, because there might be a guy who is dealing with some kind of internal issues that he's not going to make it public, but he can look at it in the groups and say, yo, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that work. I'm gonna do that workout. I'm gonna try that diet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
100. Definitely. I
Hey,
like
you know
that
what,
right there.
G Tiger, I accept that challenge. I'll be making sure that within the Black Men Travel Facebook group and the website, there will be more educational on health and wellness, more information on that. So definitely, I'll be doing that more often.
Definitely go to Method Man's channel, man. Go to Method Man's Instagram channel. He changed the whole dynamic from a street OG perspective. Now he's doing nothing but workouts on his Instagram channel, while the rest of the woo is like, wow, okay, Meth doing that. He got bigger. He on power. He doing this. He doing that. You know what I mean? And he's like 50, and he looking good. So no homo, but brothers got to start helping each other build that pyramid all over again to make everybody strong and with a solid foundation.
Yes, facts.
Yes, sir.
Yes, facts.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like Ken is saying, we're most definitely going to start working on getting some doctors, certain places or medical facilities, gyms, how to pack, how to healthy stuff just to keep up and whatnot. Even as we do our videos, I'm gonna start integrating good places to go work out in this town or this city. So I really want to see, man, the challenge of 2022 is stop posting them baddies y'all pulled at the club. Let me see them baddies y'all pulled from the gym. That'll give you way more props for me. I'll tell you that right here, right now.
Yeah, pull up.
I want to see that.
Smart. Everybody knows that Smart Fit on Calle 10 in Medellin. Pull up.
Hey, drop that info, man. I ain't know nothing about that. Drop that info so everybody else. Everybody gonna be we're not going to the club, we're going to the gym. What's happening?
You know what I mean? Like, yo.
Can I ask
we go to the club after the gym.
After the gym.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, can I ask the panel a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I got a homie, man. He been trying to debate on like surgical options. Can we touch on that real quick? Like, what may be safe? Because some are kind of scared of certain procedures, so I'm not too familiar with the different types.
Hold on, you fading out a little bit. What was the last thing you said? Because it sounded like you were fading out.
No, I was just saying. I know I got a friend in particular. He's not sure which one to go to, and some procedures may seem a little scary.
Yeah, can I chime in on? Can I chime in on that question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like for me, like back in 2015, man, I was 350 pounds, man. I was dealing with depression, and the way I dealt with my depression was through eating, and I had to like really do a mental check, an emotional check. My issue with the surgery, unless you have to do it, if your mental and your emotional state is not fixed or changed, you can have that surgery as much as you want. You're gonna always go back to that behavior. You always go back to that behavior. So before they actually have that surgery, I always advise them to go see a therapist. Because the thing is, if your mental state has not changed, but your physical has, there's a good chance that you're gonna go back to who you were before. So
Yeah,
if anything, first, before they do the surgery, let that be your last resort and focus more on doing it, like fixing yourself mentally. Because once you fix yourself mentally and emotionally, it's gonna affect you physically. So that's something that I always advise Black men, because sometimes we do carry a lot of depression, a lot of stress on our bodies due to outside stressors, and we don't want to deal with it. So we think that sometimes doing a quick fix like a surgery is going to fix the situation, but yet we're still dealing with the mental and emotional states that that we're still going through. So always use surgery as a last resort. If not, just do it the hard way, old school way, man. Take a walk, go to the gym, try to eat clean, but also fix your mind and fix your emotions.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot of times for a lot of the women in certain countries, especially in Colombia, especially Medellin. We've seen that a lot of them would do the lipo, and next thing you know, a year later, they done blew up again. Because they don't got their mind right. And they wasted that money. And I think it's a medical situation. If you do it more than one time, like 2-3 times, I think you could definitely pass away from it. Constantly keep getting the surgery done, if I'm not mistaken. But that's something I agree. You got to have your mind right. But anybody else that want to chime in on that or about surgeries and so forth? Was that Buckles? I think.
No, I'm saying I'm good on that, man. I'm not doing none of that surgery stuff, man. I see that stuff. It don't look right on man. I don't know if you've seen the dude with the abs, the fake abs and everything. I'm good. I'd rather keep this gut. Forget about it. But yeah, most definitely want to see us more in the gym than in the clubs. More taking care of ourselves. Kanal knows since last year I've lost. Still wearing my fat boy jacket, but I'm trying to keep going down, man. It's It's most definitely a good, and it
definitely
only helps you. This is nothing bad. Eating good for you doesn't do anything bad for you. Working out doesn't do anything bad, longer and harder.
Yeah, to touch on that subject, as far as like the surgeries, what I gotta say is that, if you look at medical research, you'll find that there's 5 main causes of black men dying early, and that's diabetes number 1, heart disease number 2, cancer number 3, number 4 would probably be obesity, and number 5 would be stress. So with that being said, obesity being number 4, if you feel like you're overweight, what you need to really focus is going to the doctor, get your blood work done, and making sure that all of your organs are functioning properly for your size, because you could be any size. You could be fat, skinny, or tall, slim, out of shape, in shape, but as long as your organs are functioning properly, it doesn't matter what size you are, because you could be a big dude who has more um, cardiovascular ability than a smaller guy. You could be a skinny dude and your levels might not be as much as a bigger guy. So what I would encourage guys to do, if you feel like you're overweight and you're tipping on the scales, then go to the doctor, get get the blood work done to make sure that all of your organs are functioning properly, so that you feel comfortable in your skin and you can move about healthy. Now, don't get me wrong, you're not going to be in your teens or your 20s anymore, but for your age, you're going to be able to perform at a high optimum level when you understand that, okay, I might be this size, but my organs are functioning perfectly and my levels are good.
Yeah, that's some good information right there. Yeah, that's facts. So, anybody else got anything else on that whole subject of surgeries before we cut that? All right. Well, hey, you know what? Thank you guys for joining in. I think the panel, you guys for jumping in to talk about this very important subject. And RIP to James in the situation. Unfortunately, we lost another tribal brother. It hurts. I just hate seeing this, no matter what. And I'm glad that we all came together to at least talk about this, for other people, so that we could at least save one life. Some of us that are traveling, save a life. That's very important. So, but nonetheless, I'm back again. I'm trying to create more live videos, so stay tuned for more live videos. So I got more content coming.
Hey,
Things are slowing down.
Just no excuse. Drop that link for you said you hit me up for Thursday, man. Just gonna be on live on Thursday.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Shout out real quick. Passport Bros podcast. You can search it on YouTube. Passport Brothers podcast, man. I'm gonna have Supreme Lifestyle. We gonna go back in history, man, and we gonna talk about this travel game from the beginning, man, from our point of view.
Nice. Yeah, you guys go check that out. Go check out Passport Bros. So that's a new channel that you just created, separate from the No Excuse.
Yeah, that's a separate from No Excuse. So that's gonna be strictly just podcast, man. Focus on all us brothers, man.
Thursday at 9 p.m. right?
9 p.m. Eastern.
We'll be on there.
Nice. Go check that out. You guys are listening.
Drop the link in the description.
Yeah, if you can do that, so I can pin that.
All right, I'm gonna send it to you. You can type Passport Bros podcast, and it'll come up in the search.
Oh man, thanks. Mostly money. You just drop about 10 mil. Yo, definitely appreciate that, man. It's a great show, gentlemen. Hey, appreciate you coming through, man. And shouts out to him. Mostly money. Go check out his channel as well. That guy, he has a lot going on. We actually did a show together, going over relationships in South America. So go check that out. I'll drop some videos and check out his channel too of the full interview that I did with him.
Bet.
I just want to give a special. Well, I just want to shout out my website, Black Men Travels. Just want to make sure, and also I have a Facebook group, Black Men Travels. And you guys will get the latest and greatest update on all the travels from other members. Bacchus, Bacchus, No Excuse, Solo are members in the group. And again, I'll make sure to get that list to you guys and to the rest of the Passport community.
Definitely. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Who that? Ferris? Ferris group? Aaron Ferris?
Nah, this is Canal. I have a black man singular travels, and it's a good group. It's a good interactive group. No bullshit.
All right.
Yeah, go check that out. Go check out the groups and everything. Whatever we could do to collaborate, get all the information we need. The black men traveling and that's what I'm talking about. So I'm going ahead and cut this. I already shared a link for the Thursday night, 9 p.m. Central Time. I'm sorry, 9 p.m. Eastern Time for the Passport Bros podcast. No Excuse, his other channel. So you guys go check that out. Make sure you see that Thursday night. So I guess that's it. About the call of the day. Thanks so much. Thank you guys for joining in. Appreciate you guys being here so far. For listening, panelists, all you guys that jumped in and voice your opinions and other things that you guys contributed to the whole discussion. Appreciate that. Thanks for all the super chats. Well, I'm out.